Hello everyone, once again welcome you all to my new tutorial. Today onwards I am going to start my HTML tutorial. Today is day 1 of HTML tutorials. As you all know, nowadays front-end technology is rising day by day. It is important to learn HTML to be as a front-end developer. So today we'll start some basic concept on HTML. This is the day 1 of HTML. Once again welcome you all to my tutorial. So if you see here, we'll start some basic concept on HTML. First of all, I will tell you what do you mean by HTML. If you know, please stop your video, please pause your video and answer. HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Why HTML is needed? HTML is basically needed to design our web page. HTML consists of elements, and elements explain or describe how our web content will be displayed. So HTML is basically needed to design our web page in a layman's sense. So here we comes. What do you mean by this? Is the, if you see, I have created a folder, day1 folder having 3 files, day1.html, day1.js, day1.css. I have opened that in a ID called Visual Studio Code. If you see, this is the ID Visual Studio Code. I have opened this in Visual Studio Code, and you have to, like, what I have done is I have gone to my D folder. My system hang. Yeah, I have gone to my D folder. I have created a folder named HTML CSS JavaScript demo, because we will continue training on HTML CSS and JavaScript. This is the day1 folder. In day1 folder I create 3 files, one JavaScript, one HTML and one CSS file, and I open this folder in Visual Studio Code. This is the ID that I am using for all my development, Visual Studio Code, because it is one of the wonderful ID having a lot of intelligence. Even it is free to use. Anyone can download and work on. So let's come to the HTML page. So this is the HTML page. This is the CSS page. CSS is used to give particular look and feel to our HTML element, and JS page to add functionality to our HTML element, like what will happen on button click, what will happen when user event occurs. So all this functionality we write in JavaScript file. JavaScript having extension .js, CSS having the extension .cs, and HTML having the extension .html. So how we link this CSS and JS to our HTML? This we link by using this 2 line of code, which is written within the head tag. Link is used for linking the CSS file, and script is used for linking the JS file. This 2 tag tells this HTML, or tells the browser, for CSS looks for this day1.css file, for functionality look for the day1.js file. So let's come to the first element. What do you mean by this exclamation doc type HTML? This tells the browser that whatever written in this code, it belongs to the HTML5 version. So this document is of HTML5. This is the declaration. Browser will know that whatever written, it belongs to the HTML5. And every HTML page has a root element called HTML. This HTML also has a end tag. If you scroll down, we will see this is the end tag. So this is the root element. HTML is the root element. Then comes the head tag. Why head is required? This is one of the important questions. Head is required to display the metadata for our web page. What do you mean by metadata? It tells the browser, it is some extra information about our document, like what will be the title of the file, what CSS it will refer for styling, what JS file it will refer for functionalities. So all those kind of things we will mention in the header tag. So if you see in the header tag, we have title, title I have written my first HTML, because this is the day one of for HTML. So this my first HTML will display in the browser tab. If you see it is being displayed in the browser tab. This is being displayed in the, let me resize this window so that it is visible, clearly visible. Yeah, so it is displayed in the browser tab. If you see my first HTML, this is the title. It tells the browser what will be the title of our HTML page. Then comes the links. As I told you earlier, links is used for linking the CSS file to that corresponding HTML. Then comes the script for linking the JavaScript file to that corresponding HTML. So header tag is mainly contain the metadata of our page. And then comes the body page. Why body is needed? Body is just like a container. Whatever you want to display or render in your browser, we have to write within the body tag. In other words, whatever being written in body tag, those things will be rendered. If you write anything else in except the body tag, it won't be rendered. Like whatever written in head tag, it is not rendering. Or if you say like title is rendering, it is actually not rendering. It is a tab name. Rendering means if something is displayed in the browser. So whatever is written in body tag, that only will be displayed in the browser. So body is the container for displaying the element. So this is some of the basic element we have learned. Then we can say HTML. In HTML we can nested one HTML element within the another HTML element. For example, you can see it's a basic example. If you see within the HTML tag we have head tag, and within the head tag title, link, script are nested, and within the body tag this all S2, button, T tag, every other tag are nested. So this is called the nesting of HTML tag. So let's come to the header. So in our HTML we have header from H1 to H6. H1 is for displaying the header. Like H1 is for displaying the header having most important priority or most important headers, and H6 will display the least important header. So we have H tag from H1 to H6. H1 is the most important and H6 is the least important, and they vary in font size. H1 will be displayed bigger, H6 will be displayed smaller. The same as H2 element. Then we have button. Button is also one of the element, and we usually use button for any click event. If you see, this is the click event, on click equal to some function. Like on click a button, we are calling this function. So as I told, whatever the functionality we need for our HTML element, we write in JS file, in JavaScript file. So this function is being written in JavaScript file. This is the display data. Okay. So within the display data, what we are doing, we are writing. So this is one of the syntax for accessing the DOM of our page. So in this function, what I am doing, I am looking for the element, HTML element having ID demo, and within that HTML element, inner HTML means within that HTML element having ID as demo, I am writing the current date. So let's see which HTML has the ID as demo. So we'll go to the p tag having ID equal to demo. So on click a button, we are displaying the date within this p tag. That's it, written within the display date function. So if we see this functionality in the browser, how we can do that? You will go to that, you will choose your HTML file, right click your HTML file, then open with your favorite browser, whether it is Chrome, Explorer, Edge, Mozilla, whatever is favorite of yours, like you can open that. And I will prefer Chrome for development purposes. So I have opened that in Chrome. So here we go. So now our web page looks like, so this is our web page. I have already opened one more instance, so that's why I closed that one. So this is our web page which is being rendered. My first HTML page is the header, which is written in H2 element. See, in H2 I have written my first HTML page, and we have a button having an on click event display date, and we are displaying the date within this p tag. So this is the button. On click of that button, we are displaying the current date and time as per our system. current date and type. So this is how our HTML work with JavaScript. So let's come to the one more concept called attribute. What do you mean by attribute? Attribute actually added more functionality to your HTML tag. So for example, in H2 if you see, title is the attribute. In button also, type is one of the attribute, title is one of the attribute. On click is not an attribute, you can say it is an event. So type is attribute, title is attribute. In H2, title is attribute, style is also one attribute. So what is the use of this attribute title? So wherever you have written this title, the title which is written in the header tag, within the head tag, that is different, and this title is different. You don't be confused. So if we are writing title equal to something, then if you mouse over that element, that will be displayed, that content of the title will be displayed as a tooltip. For example, I have written title equal to first header for H2, and I have written title click to display date for the button. So remember this. We'll go to our application. If I mouse over our HTML, like on the header, I am seeing the tooltip first header. If I am mouse over on button, I am seeing the tooltip as click to display date. So this is the tooltip that is being displayed because of the title attribute I have used. So it is adding extra behavior to H2. Title is adding extra behavior, means it is adding tooltip to H2. So style. So I am displaying this H2 element in blue color. So this, if you remove this blue color, then it will by default display in black color. If you remove this one, then go to our application. Every time you change, you have to refresh the page to reflect that. So see, the header is by default, it will be displayed in black color. So if you want to give extra attribute to this header, means if you want to change the look and feel, the CSS part, this is the CSS part, inline CSS. I am providing the inline style equal to, then we will give some property, let color having colored as blue, that we have given earlier. So this is the CSS. Color is the property, blue is the value. We'll learn CSS in our upcoming session, upcoming training, CSS training session. So for time being, you just remember within the style we can give inline CSS, look and feel to that HTML element. So again you have to refresh the page. See, now it is again displayed in blue color. So style is one of the attribute also. So this is all about the attribute. Let's learn some more about some extra HTML element. Let's come to the paragraph. I have written the code so that it will save our time. So this is the paragraph. What do you mean by paragraph? Paragraph, as you know, that paragraph is a block of text, and if you write a paragraph, like each paragraph will start in a new line. So new line means, you will see in just a moment. If you will go here, if you refresh the page, you will see my first paragraph is one line, my second paragraph is another line. So these are displayed in a new line in top down fashion. So as it is displayed in a new line, it is called a block element. So remember, it is a block element. It is one of the important questions in most of our HTML interview. So what do you mean by block element? If we are writing something within an HTML element and that content is displayed in top down fashion, like in the new line, then those elements are called the block element. So P is one of the block element, you can say. If something is displayed in a row, means side by side, then that element is called inline element. For example, if you see this span element, if you uncomment this one, then save this one, go to your application and refresh. See, this is my first span is displayed, then my second span is displayed. Oh, span spelling is wrong, it's okay. So my first span is displayed, and then my second span is displayed. So these are displayed side by side, not in top down fashion like the paragraph. So that's why the span is called inline element. If something is displayed in a single line, it is called inline. As the name suggests, inline means in a single line. So remember, this basic difference between the block and inline element is one of the important question in most of our UI interview questions. So here we learn some more concept. We will go to the anchor tag. Why we need an anchor tag? If you want to navigate from one page to another page or some new website, we will use the anchor tag. This anchor tag having the href. Href is one attribute for an anchor tag. In href we will specify the destination path, the path in which you want to navigate. This can be HTTPS, any link address, or this can be any local page also. Like if you create one more HTML page, day2.html, we can configure this day2.html in href. What it will do, on click of this link, we will navigate to that page. For example, I have now I configured the flipkart.com to navigate. So again we have to refresh the page. So here we get the Flipkart. See the span and the anchor tag all displayed in a single line. So anchor tag is also an inline element. Remember, anchor is also an inline element. If you click on the Flipkart, we will navigate to that page, means that site, whatever is configured within the href. This is the Flipkart page. I think you all are familiar with the Flipkart. We all, like in our day-to-day life, we get dependent on Flipkart, Amazon, this e-commerce website. So okay, so come to our training. So this is for the anchor tag, and if we then come to the image tag. If you want to display some image in our website, then we use the image tag. Image tag having an attribute called src. In src will specify the image path or image address. It can be any link or any local images. Like if we save here one more file, like image file something .jpg, then we can use that image file in here instead of HTTPS also. But I think I have configured the HTTPS image. I have taken this from Google, and it is having one more attribute called alt. Like if somehow because of network connection or because of the wrong URL in the src, if it could not able to display the image, it will display this text, my superhero. Then comes the width and height, and width and height is like it is used for like for adjusting your image size. Like to increase the width we have to increase here, to increase the height we have to increase here. It is set the width and height of your image. We'll see in a moment. Just have patience, go to your application and refresh the page, and here we go. This is the image, and we are given height as 200 pixel. This is the height, and width also 200. That's why it is being displayed in a square, like in a square shape. And if you see, this image is also displayed in a single line with span and anchor text. So image is also an inline element. Wonderful. We learn one more concept, like image is also an inline element. So just remember these examples. These are going to be helpful in your upcoming interviews. So yeah, we are good here up to this. So we'll comment this one. We'll uncomment. So here in this code, in this block of code, what I want to explain is what is the use of HR tag. Like HR tag is basically needed for horizontally separation. If you want to separate your like previous content with the next content, then we use HR tag. It will add one horizontal line. We'll see in a bit. Just a bit. Oh, sorry, I missed it, man. Just a moment. We need to comment again this one. By mistake I uncomment this one. Then we have to uncomment our HR tag code. Save it. We'll see in a moment. Have patience. Refresh the page. Yeah, here we go. if you see, this is the our above content and this is the below content. Above and below are being separated by a horizontal line that is being added because of the HR tag. Even below also we will see one more horizontal line because of HR tag. We have used HR tag in two places. Here HR tag 1, here HR tag 2. So HR tag is used for horizontal separation of our content. I guess it is clear up to this. If you guys have any doubt, so you can comment in this video, and please comment how you like these videos, whether it is going to be helpful to you guys or not, because it is taking a lot of hard work to make these videos. So let's come to training again, back to the training. So here in this single line, what I want to display, what we want to explain, what is the use of BR tag. BR means if you want to make a break, if you want to add something in a new line, if you want a new line, then you use a BR tag. It's just wherever you use BR tag, the next content will be displayed in a new line. For example, let's save it and see how the BR tag works. See, this is written in one line, paragraph in second line, and with line break is in third line. Why paragraph is written in second line? Because we have used BR tag. So whatever written after the BR tag will be displayed in the new line. Again we have used one more BR tag. So whatever written after the BR tag will be displayed in a new line. So this is pretty easy, and so as per my opinion, UI technology are much easier nowadays. HTML is we can say a piece of cake. You just have to remember some of the tags, that's it. And that actually you don't have to remember. Once you practice, it will automatically come into your mind. So what is the use of the pre-tag? So usually in HTML, if you want to give some space, if you see just okay, let me give some example. We will take these two paragraphs. We'll take these two lines, we'll write it here. See, in HTML, if we give space, then we have given 4 to 5 space. So actually in HTML, those spaces are not being counted. So browser automatically remove this space. Okay, so I have given 4 space between my first paragraph and second paragraph. Let's see how it is displayed. It will display as before without any space. So this space because paragraph is a new line. So paragraph is a block element, that's why this space. And if you want to preserve the same space as it is, or if you want to want our HTML content to be displayed as we have written, so you have to use pre-tag. Pre-tag is used for pre-formatted text. So whatever written within the pre-text, it will be displayed as it is, means the space is same, and it will be displayed first line is displayed in the first line, second line is displayed in the second line, all those, this new line and space both are preserved. Both the new line as well as space is preserved. And pre-tag, I will give a practical example. If you want to write a poem, how you will write? You will write in a top-down fashion. Small means the poem consists of small line having rhyming words. So in that cases we use pre. So it preserves both the space and new line. And whatever is written, it is displayed as it is with space. See how pre will be displayed. It is displayed as means the number of space and the new line both are preserved. If you give more space, I am giving some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 space, and see how it is displayed, whether it is preserving that 5 space or not. See, it is preserving the 5 space. So everything is displayed as it is. Nothing is going to change within the pre-tag. It is for pre-formatted text. So up to this we are clear. So we have learned very important concept today. Important, we can say basic concept, like what is the use of doc type. It is for differentiating, it is for telling the browser it whatever written here, it's for the HTML5. This doc type is for the HTML5 declaration. Header, what is the use of head tag? It is for displaying the metadata. What is the use of body tag? Whatever being displayed within the body tag will be rendered in the browser. Then we discussed few more elements like header. We have header from h1 to h6. h1 is for the most important and h6 is for the least important. Then we discuss about the button. Button having on click event, on click equal to display date. Here one function is written. Whatever the function we need to write in JS file, .js file. And for look and feel, for the button we have used the CSS file, because in button, if you see, I have given background color of button is blue, color is white, all those kind of stuff I have given. And we have discussed the paragraph p element. P element is basically a block line or block element, means these are displayed in a new line. My first paragraph is in one line, my second paragraph in just below the first paragraph in a new line. And we discuss about the span tag. Whatever being written within the span tag, is displayed in a single line, in a single row. So span tag is an inline element. And we discuss about the anchor tag. If you want to navigate from one page to another page, we will use anchor tag. Anchor tag having an attribute href. In href we will specify the path of the page or the URL to which we want to navigate. And anchor tag is also one of the inline element. Then we discuss about the image tag. If you want to use image in your web page, then we have to use the img tag. Having asserts, in asserts we specify the path of the image. It can be URL or it can be your local image saved in your project folder. Then image having alt attribute. If image is not displayed because of internet connection or because of wrong URL, then this text is displayed. And we discuss about the width and height, how to adjust the width and height of the image. Then comes the use of the HR tags. If you want to add a horizontal separation in our HTML content, we use HR tag. Then comes the BR tag. If you want to add a new line, we use the BR tag. Whatever be written after the BR tag will be displayed in a new line. Then comes the pre tag. Pre used for the pre-formatted text. Whatever the written in the pre-format within the pre tag will be preserved as it is with the new line as well as with the space, both new line and space. So it is basically used like for practical example. If I say like for writing a poem, we can use the pre tag. So this is all about the HTML tutorials for the day 1. So thank you guys for joining. We'll meet again in our day 2 HTML tutorial. Please be tuned with me, and please comment how you like my video, and please comment how to improve it. And please subscribe to my videos and subscribe to my channel, and click the like buttons and click the bell buttons. Thank you guys. I hope you all learn a lot. We enjoy a lot. Thank you guys. We'll meet in my second HTML tutorial video tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.